from Alabama is recognized.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the witnesses being here today. The Biden-Harris White House has censored campaigns, and certainly they've targeted information, satire like our friends at Babylon Bee, and other content that did not necessarily violate the platform's policies. Mr. Taibbi and Mr. Shellenberger, I kind of want to dig in a little bit with you guys on the Twitter files and let y'all tell us a little bit about what you found. So, Matt, what was some of the really most revealing things you found as you were going through the Twitter files? And now, Elon Musk, I understand, was a Democrat. You were a Democrat. You've admitted being a Democrat. But now we're seeing a shift. So tell me, Mr. Taibbi, what is it that causes the shift, number one? And number two, what did you find that troubled you the most as you were going through that? And then, Mr. Shellenberger, I'll kind of want to pick your brain a little bit on that, too.
Mr. Congressman, thank you for the question. I don't know the answer to that question of what caused the shift. It's a mystery that we've all been trying to look into for years now. I don't know why there's a sudden concern when Donald Trump or Elon Musk does something, but nobody stood up, even for Democrats, when they had their speech suppressed. In the Twitter files, we found requests from the FBI that Aaron Mate from the Gray Zone be removed at the behest of the Ukrainian Secret Services. Nothing. No major media organizations covered that. In terms of academic freedom, one of the first things that we found was that Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, who's in line to be the head of the NIH, that he was on a trends blacklist at Twitter. That was on the first day of the Twitter files we found that. Nothing, nobody covered that. They called it a big nothing burger. Same thing with doctors like Harvard's Martin Kulldorff or the University of California's Aaron Kheriaty. When they criticized lockdowns, they were de-amplified and/or removed. So academic freedom, suddenly it's a big concern. I agree it's a big concern, but it's a concern in both places. And so it's very frustrating to see that shift. Michael, do you have a...
Yeah, Michael, if you don't mind, talk a little bit about maybe the Twitter files and, too, the shift and now where you're seeing people who would normally identify as liberal maybe are now coming to the side of our party or to political argument for conservatives to say, hey, free speech matters. What you say, you should be allowed to say what you want to say in a free market. So,
my view is that Democrats will look back at giving up the free speech issue to Republicans as just a catastrophic political failure. I've changed my mind on a lot of issues, written 2 books about it, but I never changed my mind about free speech, never changed my mind about the illegality and immorality of weaponizing government. When you look at the history of it, in the 1930s, the repression by FBI was against the left, against the radical left. You look at the defense of flag burning, that was by the left. You look at defense of free speech, often it's by the left. So it's been a reversal. The left, the Democrats, came to embrace the weaponization of and censorship because they became so powerful and so entitled at ruling under the Obama administration, I believe, and the intelligence services.
I was going to ask you when you thought it started, but you said earlier about 12 years you could remember, but certainly Biden-Harris kind of doubled down on what Obama started, but go ahead,
yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's right. I just think Obama, after, 8 years of Obama, they transformed the intelligence community, became much more left-leaning, much more partisan, and so there's an inorganic and an organic part of the weaponization and censorship, but clearly you see people, we reported on the activities of John Brennan, Obama's CIA director, authorizing reverse targeting or bumps to basically instigate the whole Russiagate hoax. You see these partisan actors in the intelligence and the deep state agencies engaging in these activities. You see it with Democrats as well, and that's just bizarre for anybody that's studied this.
Yeah, it's like the chairman mentioned, just the fact that IRS happened to knock on Matt's door the day he was testifying here. The whole system itself, whether it was big tech and the federal government, that is a terrifying option when you see those people working together to target the free speech of American citizens. So, and it wasn't just Twitter, Matt. I think we saw a memo where Meta, you said Meta actually, maybe Facebook had been targeted more, I guess, by the administration, a little more difficult to get their message out or a little more stringent on how they allowed them to speak freely. So you want to maybe...
Yeah, this committee did an extensive report on the Facebook files. They uncovered emails showing repeated requests from the White House to de-amplify figures ranging from Tomi Lahren to Tucker Carlson, constantly. And we also found in the Twitter files similar communications from the same people. Also reporter Alex Berenson found this out about his own account. From the New York Times, he found this. They repeatedly pressured Twitter to take down true information, true reports. And these, again, he's not even a conservative. He was a longtime New York Times reporter who was removed from the platform, and again, silence from the mainstream press during that time.
Yeah, I never could figure out who the fact checkers were, Matt. Anyway, I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields back. The gentlelady from North Carolina is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm thrilled that I got to go after